What is up? This is your boy Anecdotal coming at you with the newest ekkor launch game, Endless Arena, which of course sounds a lot like a spin-off of Endless Frontier, and of course the same characters are there. So I'm in the Pangea server. Holla Lil Dicky for Pangea. So let's go ahead and check out this game. For a clan, I joined a random clan. I think I had to be like what, level 2 or something. There's nothing to do in clans. Everything is coming soon, so there's really not much to talk about there, so we can go ahead and skip all of that. But what you can see is that there are tiers to the characters: legendary, heroic, and I guess common or normal. Doesn't really matter. The other thing that I'm seeing here is that there are skills that I guess unlock later in the future. All the characters are either a kind of spin-off version of already made Endless Frontier characters, or exact copies of the PNG of the Endless Frontier characters that there are. Daily, you always get like a free X daily amount of gold that you can use to upgrade said characters, and those little orb thingies that are also used to upgrade whatever characters. When you first start, you get to pick between 3 different units. None of them are undead. You got the extreme fire mage, which is who I picked, and then you have this random orc and this random elf character. The elf character is actually the one I'm using right now. Totally forgot what the name is. It's like a newer honor unit, so I totally don't remember. But those are the characters that you get to start off with. I went with the fire mage. For chapter 2, just to let you know about that real quick, you will need to use a uniform. I was totally stuck, had no idea how to use a uniform. Whichever character you chose at the very beginning, you just have their uniform and you got to change into it. You get some bonus stats. I don't know how prevalent those stats are for uniforms, but I'm guessing that they're gonna matter, especially right in the beginning, because you just start off with whatever level you are, and those are your stats. Now, you're probably seeing that this is very different than Endless Frontier, because yeah man, it's super manual. It's super manual. Nothing is auto. There's no auto button anywhere, at least none that I saw. And there's no like 3 times speed or anything like that. You're going to need all the time that you have to pick. So every once in a while you'll level up, you get to pick what kind of skill you want. So what's the best thing to do? For me, I like having every skill unlocked. That way I don't waste any time doing something. And then after that, I kind of just want to level up whichever one does the most damage, or make everything evenly leveled up as I go. You could also pick these different items. Each item has a cost. So at the very beginning, the thing that I love doing is using anything that has a skull. So there are sets for all the items that there are in the game. So right now I'm using a glass set, because as you saw before I started, one of the requirements of course was to have a full 6 of 6 set of the glass set. The glass set is shown by having like this circle blue thing, and I think it gives you what, crit damage or speed, I forgot which one. But I go ahead and try to get as much as I can, but you can only really get what you get, and you don't get upset depending on what it is. So it's hard to say how to get this. This is probably the second time I played this stage, or the third, where I just kept trying to get all 6, because there's just so many other pieces. So it almost feels impossible to get the right one, but hopefully we can do it this time. In the meanwhile, the other thing that's very important in order for you to get further on in this game is to have enough of those skulls. Skulls give you more percentage of gold for whatever matches you fight. So you see that you have 8 possible items that you can use at a time, having them as like equipped items, and then you have 4 sort of random inventory space that you could hold. So what I like to do is, while I'm not doing important battles and I'm just trying to get gold, all of the things that have skulls, which will increase the amount of gold I have, will be on this team, as an equipped item. But the second I'm going into a real fight, which you can check on the top, you just click it, and it's the icon with 2 swords crossing each other, of course means like a battle with someone, an actual opponent or a boss. There, I'll take out the ones that have the skull, because the boost that I'm getting is just an extra gold boost, and you get more gold when you fight random people, right? Like random groups or mobs. So for those, I want to have that in, the gold buff. But when I'm actually fighting people, I'd rather have like crit damage or more attack, that kind of a set. The other thing to keep in mind, of course, is how powerful your set is. So the things with 0 background that are just gray are obviously the lowest attack or whatever. And then you could always power them up and they'll be slightly stronger, but that doesn't really matter. Then the one green comes next, and then the blue one is even stronger, and then the purple, I think, is the highest ranked item there is. So at the end of the game, what would you rather have? My guess is a whole full rank of nothing but orange, right? But usually stages aren't that long, so I would want to have a fully like transcended or evolved item that are mostly blue and orange, while also completing whatever set I need. Now, there are a couple of sets that I think are actually very important. One is the gold one, so that you could afford to buy everything else. Second one is the level one early on, because it increases your max level, and honestly, if you're just a higher level than someone else, you could win. Speed, I think, is important. Attack, and like after that, I really think it's a roll of the dice, but I really am kind of partial to speed. Being able to hit first always is a good idea, and that's kind of something Endless Frontier has always done. So I think Endless Arena might be something similar, but you also want to find the perfect complements between ones that give you a set on the bottom right and on the upper left. When you first start playing, you're not going to see a lot of these sets. They kind of have to be unlocked as you play. So you might see that I have a couple of things here that have nothing on the bottom right. That's because I didn't finish all the tutorial stages. I pretty much just played until I saw all the game modes, and then, you know, I'm not sure if this game is actually going to be for me or not. The more I played, the more I actually started getting into it. At first, a match took me forever, but now I don't know. One of the things you can do, of course, is you could look at what the other person has, your armor versus theirs, and see what's what. I'm not 100% sure it matters what character you have. Like, if I'm using an orc, that doesn't mean that I need to use the orc set, right? Or if I'm using undead, that doesn't mean I have to use an undead set, because here undead is gold. So, like, what? You know what I'm saying? So you actually have to try to dig deep and not use your prior knowledge of Endless Frontier to do this that much, if that makes sense, because it is actually a completely different game. Now, as for the population of the game, oh no, my batteries. All right. As for the population of the game, I'm not 100% too sure about what matters here. Like, I don't know how many people are actually on, but for the arena that I've joined always pretty quickly, pretty consistently. But I do have to say that, man, the carries are usually really hard. I either do really well or really badly, and like the team like battle matching is not the greatest. But it is obviously an issue, probably because I just started playing. So I'm there at 0 trophies, while everyone else is also like anywhere between 0 to like 1,000 trophies or whatever. So who knows? Or just a couple hundred. Did I see anyone at 1,000? I'm not sure. Anyways, the matchmaking for PvP seems a little off, because it's a 3v3 match. So if they had 1v1 PvP, I probably would have been happier, which brings me to what I kind of just did. So if you look at the bottom right of the screen, you're going to see that there is a orange gear vest that has a star in the upper left and the glass icon in the bottom right, and that's like a wish list. That you can use, I guess, to signal to whatever teammates that you have, like, yo, I would love to get that. So that's what I think that is. That's what I thought when I looked at wish list. I'm not 100% sure if it increases the odds of you getting it. I have made a wish list of the one item I wanted and never got it. So I don't think that's really how it works. I think it's more of a co-op sort of communication thing, where it's like, yo, if you have this, please get it. And the way you can do it is if someone else buys it and you sell it, you can buy it for half price. And that's where the really cool like team sort of aspect comes to it. So if I were to play with 2 people who actually knew what they were doing, and I'll say like, yo, I'm gonna take glass and I'm gonna take undead, right? Because that's what I'm currently having. And someone else says, cool, I'm gonna take like this mithril looking thing and something else, and the third player is going to take this dragon looking thing and the fist. Then bam, we all know what we're doing. So I'll try to buy whatever and sell whatever to help everyone else. And whatever they sell, I'll be able to buy for half price and vice versa. That's why you shouldn't be scared of selling the inventory that you actually have. Once you sell it, you can buy it back for half price. So it's not too bad. Also, if you see something you really want at the store, which is only 4 items at once, don't be afraid to sell the things that you have in order to buy the item that you actually really need. So you'll be able to tell the price. It's not always like the best. When it's like one-on-one, you can actually just click where it says buy now because there is no wish list, but it makes things a lot easier. That's all I have to say about that. But overall, the music isn't bad in the game. I mean, it's the first time I'm hearing it, so if it was bad, it'd be pretty bad, right? There actually is some, I guess it's voice acting or just people just kind of yelling things, but you know, it's not bad. The little circles, like spell circles in the bottom, is supposed to show how powerful you are. I think it said that somewhere in the loading screen, I believe. So right now, my guys on the left are way more powerful than these people on the right, and it looks like I'm you know, I have my 6. I'm gonna be able to complete the mission pretty easily here. Make sure that you actually look. You can wear repeated weapons, which it doesn't add to the set. So I thought if I had 6 different things, I mean like 6, most of them were different, but they weren't all the same, it would still complete a 6 of 6 bonus set. It does not. So let's say the glass thing I had. If I instead have 4 of those purple swords, which of course would be like way more attack, right? It would do nothing. So bam, as you can see, bam, all 3 are done. The easiest way to actually check this is before the mission. When you actually click on the mission, sometimes the text is cut off for some reason, and of course the translation, there's like a lag where everything's in the original Korean language instead of the English language. It looks like I hit reset because Labyrinth is open, but I guess I can't play it, so I guess I gotta leave the game and come back, but there's no reason to do it. So what Labyrinth is it's like an endless dungeon mode where you, and again, 2 random players are there, and I think that's where you get the buff of the things that you want. So that's where you get like a whole lot of unit pieces and such, and a whole lot of gold. So if you do have a friend that's interested, you should probably tell them to download the game and play Labyrinth with you, because doing it by yourself is not a good idea. But I'm gonna go ahead and jump into PvP. So in PvP, it's kind of like the luck of the draw to your deck. Your deck has, I think, like 6 or 8 characters. I already forgot. And then you kind of just click like refresh or exchange or something to pick the character that you want. Now my strongest is this witch, so I always refresh until I see that witch, and that's what I go with. My second strongest is actually the character that I got. I feel like because I have the costume and I kind of leveled him up because I didn't know who to level up, I did him. So there you go. Gold seems to be one of the things that you actually really need. So early on in the very beginning of Arena, my goal is actually to get the fastest set possible. Usually leather is really good, so you could actually level up and be 1 level higher than your opponent. But whatever, man. Having as much things with you is the most important thing, because you could win your very first fight. After that, it's all about trying to get some gold and maxing everything out and having the highest tier items so that you could win. So hopefully I can go ahead and give you guys a W right here. I don't know how great my teammates are, but I'm probably gonna do what I was doing before. I'll go for glass. I'll try to sell everything else, but beggars can't be choosers, man. You're gonna have to go with the hands that you're dealt with and just kind of roll with it. There's a lot of RNG in here. You could try to be going for one set, but let's say you get an orange, right? The highest, the legendary item. Just switch, man, and go ahead and go for that, and then build off your strongest item instead of these weak items. So right here, the 2 glass items I have, they are of the lowest tier, right? The lowest class of an item. But I do have 2 of them, so I do have the speed bonus, which I like. So here, as you can see right here, we're about to do some recon, right? So this is going to be a fight that actually matters. Wow, look at this. He has 3 items, all of the lowest class. And I think he might have, is it? Yeah, he has 2 skulls, so he has 20% gold. But that's not really going to help in this fight. Alright, as you level up, you can go ahead and have skills, you can level them up. I think I already talked about that though. Usually I just try to get 1 of everything so that I always have like a skill off cooldown or whatever. But that's really all there is to it. After that, I try to level up whatever I think is the strongest skill, or level everything up evenly. But as you can see, man, I'm killing it right now. Compared to whoever I just went up against, he must have maybe not refreshed or something. So yeah, right now I'm gonna go ahead. Oh, look at that, I got another skull. All right, great. So right now I'm gonna start replacing some stuff and trying to have more skulls. For skulls, for like the gold that I get, I usually only need 2 or 4, and I'll replace whatever low level skulls I have. But because I'm using the speed set, it kind of double dips with the glass set. I mean, the glass and the gold set kind of double dip. So I guess I got fortunate early on and don't really have to worry too much about it. I'm looking at it. I'm level 7. So is the Rondo. I don't know what it's called in Endless Arena. And then the Fire Mage that's over here. That is, don't know what that's called. But hey, Fire Mage is also there. Holla at your boy. So it looks like we're getting the dub. Everyone looks kind of evenly matched. If you actually want to know what they have on, you can click on them. But for the most part, it's all about rearranging your equipment and what you have on, selling things that you don't need, and getting things that you do need. Right now, everything's really solid, and you just kind of look at your attacks and know that everything's kind of slightly buffed up because of your sets as well. So be aware of that. You can just obviously like swoop them or swap them in and out, and you'll see what your attack ends up looking like. So right now I'm really enjoying that I have a whole lot of great high colored or high tier sets. So I have these blues here, and I had these 2 purples here. I'll get an orange and I'll be pretty good. Like right now the set looks good. Like I'm ready for combat, but you can see right here that what I'm going into is hunting monsters. So what I want is to have as much gold as possible. So I'm gonna try to have four sets of gold so I can get more gold. And with that gold, when the time comes where I actually have to fight opponents for PvP, I'll be able to buy a legendary item, which will help me like a lot. So once I got that legendary item, I can go ahead and make mincemeat out of my opponents and get the dub right there. As for skills, I don't really waste my time reading the skills anymore. I kind of just take a glance at them. A couple of the ones that have really good debuffs, like that restrain people, are actually, I think, are amazing. One time I remember I like out leveled a couple people and I just kept being restrained repeatedly and couldn't do anything about it. So that was horrible, but it also let me know that restraining, having binds are really good skills, like stuns as well. All of those are really good skills. So it's nice to have someone that could dispel those debuffs. That would be nice, and someone that of course applies them. So if you have a team and you see that it's kind of missing, that's something you want to have. Either a debuffer or someone that has that buffer, and then either a tank or a really good DPS. I don't know what the best 3-person team is, because I've always came into this random. I didn't go like, hey guys, download this game so I can go ahead and try it out. If you guys are interested so far in what you see, this is pretty much the game mode. Labyrinth I think also is really good. If you play this game with friends, or you could get hooked up with the Alliance. They need to do something with the Alliance, man. The chat was dead. When I went to the Alliance chat, a couple people said what's up and hi and stuff, but honestly not much was happening there. But I really see a lot of potential for this game, because it's a 3v3 thing everywhere. Everywhere except for actual like the story mode or whatever. But I don't really think that's where the game shines. It really does in the PvP and the Labyrinth, where you have to like work cooperatively with people. But what the game is actually missing is the whole cooperation interface. There's nowhere where you could actually start talking. Maybe if they added an audio thing in the game where you guys can talk, maybe, I don't know, something. But the communication here has to be a thing. Like there needs to be some way, and it is really fast paced, though this game takes a long time. Like right now I think I've spent 15 minutes, maybe almost 20, I don't know. Honestly, time flies when you play this game. Like you don't even realize it, because you keep thinking, you keep waiting for the perfect thing to get your sets together, to level up your items, and to get the W. But because of that, I'm missing out on all of the effects. Like all these attacks that are going on, I don't see those at all. Like not even a little bit. Whoa, look at that, man. First place, 4 purples, man. One blue, one green, and then 2 whatevers, and no legendaries, man. Nothing there was orange. But number 1, man. So I get 20 trophy points there, 30 gold. Well worth it. Carried my team because they came in 5th and 6th. So as you can see, I don't know how everything is counted. One time I won like 2nd place and I was like all defense. So I'm not even 100% sure on how all of that works. But man, this has been your boy checking out Endless Arena for the first time. If you like this video, man, make sure to like it. Share with anybody from the Endless Arena community. Of course, don't forget to make yourself known. And comment down below. That's Costume. Peace.